Hey there, everybody. How have you been? The Yeah, so I've been working on the character editor over the weekend. It's come a pretty long way. I'm excited. I'm excited to show y'all. Let's see let's see. Yeah, I mean, in fairness, I did follow the train to Denver. I am one of the probably couple, you know, I'm in the small fraction of Americans who actually lives right next to a passenger rail line, the Denver Light Rail. So, I follow that train every day. Um, let's see. But yeah, so let me open up all of these. Okay. All right. So check it out. Um, let's see. Right. Okay, so we have some basic camera controls. Um, why is my computer so slow all of a sudden? Hmm, maybe it's OBS. Hey there, Chill. Chris Terminator, welcome. Thank you all for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I have some exciting stuff to show off. Basically, like, there's literally one thing left I need to do for the character editor, and that is the material selection menu. And we're just gonna knock that out pretty quickly, I think. But right now, you can do the eyes. You can set, the scale of the character. Do some height stuff. Let's see. Yeah, the you can set, skin tones and all that. You can set the body type. So we're going to build out this menu more over time. But yeah, so we have that working. Yeah, I'll actually be showing. I spent a lot of time working on the character on the save data port stuff. So we can check that out right after this and show y'all what it looks like when a character is translated. But yeah, so how small can the head get? I believe it can get this small. Um, so yeah, technically, I think the back end supports more than the front end, but still, the so then of course hair. We have a lot of good hair options, though they don't scale with the head. I should probably fix that. Um, let's see let's see. Do they? No, I don't think they do. Yeah, they don't. Okay, so I need to make them scale with the head better. But for now, just for um, my own sanity, let's see. Or actually, this might actually be a bug due to how I handle uh, accessories now. Let's see. We'll mess with that later. Point. For now, just know that you can set on. We can do this. But we can also do complex um, variations of textured shirts. So we can we can take out all the color. Then we can use it to apply sort of a much more flexible system. Um, let's see. So in terms of play testing, will vegetables be removed? I don't. We are going to have a lot of food items, so vegetables will probably be added. Will be playtesting? Probably not soon because um, I've decided that I'm not going to spend a week trying to reduce all the editable image stuff. So, like right now, basically, because this all like see this shirt thing right here. This uses an editable image, which allows me to do cool stuff like this. Also with the pants, check this out. So let's say that you want to have a different type of shoe. you can actually, we can literally just add the shoes over it. We can make it so your character has flip-flops even. Yeah, or we can give boots, sneakers, all this fun stuff. Like the point is, these are things that are only possible due to editable images. And so, I'm thinking that just in general, I'm just going to wait for that technology to come out rather than doing a bunch of combos. Um, so we should definitely. I will show you all the if there's a bunch of demand for more hair controls, that's something that I'm definitely open to. I just don't want to dump too much stuff into the initial version of this. I want us to just get the initial stuff right, then we could talk about like adding more extra controls. I made the system very flexible, so it should be easy to add new stuff later on. But yeah, also we have layered clothing now. So if you want to add a skirt to your character, skirt and a jacket. Um, let's see. Same thing as usual with like supporting dynamic recoloring of stuff. Oh, fun thing. I have order editing, so you can actually like make the skirt go above that. Like that's actually this is why I was doing layered clothing, so that you could have kind of these like dynamic layers and stuff. But yeah, like so we should be able to have multiple different character appearances. Let's see. In terms of helmet stuff. Oh yeah, but the head scaling is broken right now. Um, yeah, this is the shoulder armor from the main game. You can see it applied accordingly. Once again, you can of course put it under the layered clothing, which I think is really cool. Yeah, and then that brings us to emblems. I added 7 pages of emblems, um, and I think that that's going to be pretty exciting. Let's see. So right now the icons in the UI don't load, but let's say that we wanted to. Okay, so nuclear. All right, let's make it a kind of like a bright, a bright yellow kind of thing. But that doesn't actually stick out. So let's go with bright pink. Now transform 3D. We can increase the scale of it per axis. We can move it out um, by that amount. Okay, move it up. Oh, I think I need to flip that. But still, you have control over that. And then rotation, where you can do something like, I believe, this. So if you wanted to have that just sort of lay directly on things, that should now be possible. And I'm very excited for seeing how y'all do stuff with this. You can have multiple emblems too. Um, let's see. Let's. I still have some optimization paths. You can see it's trying to redraw a bunch of the character right now, but don't worry, we're gonna get around that over time. But yeah, so how about let's add a background to it, so we can have multiple emblems loaded at the same time. So you can have a bunch of different cool combinations. Um, let's see, there's a coin one, I think. There it is. Okay. So yeah, so we can have that, and then we can have a let's see, what's like a good. Okay, that looks good. And then we can scale that up. Maybe not that much. Maybe we'll go to like that level. And with the positioning, once again, just kind of line it up. I really do need to get better at the optimization stuff. But for the most part, the you can see the direction that we're going with here. So, okay, there we go. Position, move it forward. Move it down a little bit. You can zoom in, of course, as well. So that'll make the fine-tuned adjustments a little bit easier. But yeah, like so that's the current system essentially. We have all of these layers sort of going together, and then of course, like we can like change the body type at like afterwards. We can just we have complete control over all this stuff. Um, and so yeah, and so right now all of this character is only 329 characters. So if we assume 329, so let's just assume that we reserve 1 MB for suits. So uh, so if we have 1 MB, which is 1,000,000 bytes, divided by the 329 bytes that currently this suit breaks down into, um, we can store 3,000 of these in the data. So things are very efficient for the most part. But yeah, like so that's the current editor. This also goes together with let's see. Let me just quickly cross out the scaling stuff, just so that I can get things rendering normally for a second. Um, but now check out the oh, let's see, duplicate template. Okay, so it looks like I made a mistake when I was configuring the emblems. So let's see. So lightning. Looks like there are two lightning ones. So we can call this one lightning 3. And then we're going to go back into the character emblem. And then we're just going to look for one of the lightnings. And we're going to make it lightning 3. Congratulations, you are lightning 3. Okay. So yeah. Okay, so let's try this again. Exhausting. Did I not save? Because I know that. How many lightnings? Oh, it's because I didn't actually change the what it's referencing. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So hopefully, okay, yeah. So that's fixed now. So now I can show y'all what the how the character transfer is currently working. So check out, it's building Red Rage. Same thing with like it's just currently building out all of these different yeah, like this here's Snow Sister. Yeah, so it should, the goal is that it should be able to reconstruct the majority of um, characters. Now, at the end of the day, it's not going to be a perfect. These some assets have changed, but for the most part, I think we are hitting a pretty decent first draft version. Um, so yeah, it's currently, the reason it's slow right now is because I just need to do more optimization passes on the character stuff. But yeah, like most of this stuff won't, I'll be caching these files. Like this is just building it in real time. For example, you'd have like these different, what's it called? Let's see, what was it called? Oh yeah, but you'd have some of these, like when it first constructs it, it'll like save it in the server storage or replicated storage or something, so that when you transform, it's not going to take this long for your character to load. It'll just be loading that for the first time. Explain Snow Sister's mask. Oh, because her original mask isn't actually an item. It's a union. It's not an accessory. And so until I have the time to make a custom version, I actually just have to use a different item for that. I think this one looks okay, but you know, uh, her current mask does not exist. Um, it's just a union, and so yeah, the we're going to, for the most part, though, I think things transferred over pretty well. Like, also, we're going to be changing some of the shirts. Right now, I'm pretty sure that, like, the actual shirts and pants are like a sweatpants and sweatshirt. Like, if you look very closely, you can see the textures don't look right. So we're going to have an actual, like, custom made suit texture. But this is just to show my vision for, like, how we're going to be blending layered stuff with, non-layered stuff. Like, I think probably Autumn Wind is the clearest example of this, where it's like, you have like the base textures and then you layer stuff over it. Or like also like, Snow Sister, where it's like we aren't going to be using parts for the base layer, but I think that that actually leads to a better overall design. It looks more streamlined. Yeah, and yeah, I like it as well. Let's see, we can even change we can run this again with different body types if we want. For example, we can do R 2010. Because this is running off of old save data and we didn't encode anyone's like body type or gender identity in the original save data, um, there's no way for me to automatically port to a specific body type. So I'm just probably going to make it the non-binary one, just as a default. So you're going to have to set the body types for your characters, but it won't like look bad. Otherwise, it just look generic. Yeah, and so yeah, this is it with the 2012 one. So as you can see, um, that's the cool thing about this logic, is that it can just work with a new body type. Like it can just pivot over to a new version of things. And yeah, I think that this is a much better solution. I'm going to be doing some optimization passes so things don't take nearly as long. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so we're gonna continue to polish this up, continue to add new features. Uh, all right. Well, I know y'all want to see it. The thing is, I'm not sure I want to see it because I know for a fact that this jacket is not going to play well with the cube version. But you know, that's just something we're gonna have to deal with. Right now, I'm using, like, as you know, I put a lot of effort into making sure that this asset works with the blocky versions. Um, However, these things like these were the Roblox made assets, and Roblox really didn't put that much effort into making this fit. And so, medium term, we'll probably have like certain jacket assets that we can use for the blocky ones. But okay, yeah. So all right. So just quick glance over all of them with that. All right. So now let's go with blocky. Uh, Lord help me. I feel like this is a problem which only bad humanoid. Oh, that's because of the previous code. I was like, why is it getting angry at me for that? Okay, so it's building that. All right, yay! It's looking all right so far. I need to fix up a few of the UVs on this. You can see the little lines right there. Um, but yeah, the but like so far, like it's looking all right. Like I think that this, as I said, I put a lot of effort into getting this to transfer over pretty well. The problem is Roblox does not put half the effort I do into that stuff, and so actually, this doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to be. It looks not good, but it does at least kind of fit the character. Eh, I'm gonna have to make custom jackets. Uh, yeah, no, this does not look good. This looks ridiculous. But that's the problem. Anytime I custom make something, looks great. Look at that. Looks perfect. Anytime anyone else makes it, it's like whatever this nonsense is. But anyway, I guess not everyone has the time for like a 20-hour tuning session for every single asset. But yeah, like here you can see the different. But yeah, so here's how the characters transfer over. Yeah, and this is yeah the I do think that yeah, well, I guess in some senses that jacket is kind of like a fashion statement now, like the jackets which are like too puffy. So this is actually this is a vibe. I just don't think it was the intended one. Um, let's see. Well, the problem is with the Radiant Runner is I don't have the X emblem done yet, and that's a big part of his outfit. So yeah, like I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna add more layers to this stuff, but for now, like I'm pretty yeah, no, like yeah, well that's the thing. These are actually thinner than usual. If you look pretty closely, you'll see that it's not that they're kind of stretched. Like this isn't the 4x4 body. It's like a what is this, like a 5x3.5 or something, which I guess just keep it a fraction, you'd be 10x7 or something. So like these are stretched a bit. This is blocky slender because y'all didn't notice and it just looks better. Well, you did notice, but you didn't realize you noticed it looked good. You didn't realize I'd messed with it. It just looks better this way. Um, so yeah, so these are yeah. So I think that this is the best situation for that. Yeah, I yeah, I need to keep on messing with those UV maps. The problem is it's so frustrating because just when you think you have one UV map working, you put it on a different body type and it stops working. Oh well. But yeah, like it's I think we're doing a pretty good job. Yeah, the well, OG blocking is so like not what I want that I literally removed it from the I literally removed it from the character set. Um, but yeah, I think for the most part, stuff's looking pretty good. You know, like obviously there's a lot of optimization passes are needed. The character editor, we need to add the materials menu. We need to add the different. We need to figure out what's going on with the head scaling, and we need to just do a few different passes to make this stuff faster. Like you shouldn't have to re-render the entire character every time you change something. And so like there's still work to be done, but like y'all can see what the vision is. You can see what I've been going for here, and I think it's paid off. I think this went well. I think that I was right to make these decisions. I know that they weren't always popular, but I do think the layered clothing thing looks good, and it has unlocked some cool stuff. So let's see. The I am Sandy asks, will the glitch remain in the game? Yeah, kind of. I'm just not setting a difference. Like you can't just like there's no separation anymore. When you edit a character, you can add like that. That's something which I feel like people haven't. It's not fully sunk in yet. You can just have multiple different items for every single thing. Like with the let's see, so like with the torso armor, we can add that. You can have you can have different masks. Like right now, if you wanted to have like a normal shirt, like a red flannel, and then put like a superhero, cape on it, you totally can. And I think that that's pretty exciting. Um, yeah, the Yeah, I'm going to be messing around a little bit with the emblem system because I really want it to fit every body type. But like, you can have these kind of like check this out. Like we can just do all of that stuff. Oh wait, I'm in scale right now. Oh, I forgot. I disabled that because it was causing head glitches. But yeah, and like we can also add like a battle helm, and with the texture modifications, which I'm especially excited for. Check this out. Um, you can have it be what's it called? You can literally just do this kind of stuff to it, and then match it to whatever color or tone you're aiming for. And so yeah, like I think that it's going to lead to some pretty nice stuff. So yeah, no, double hair will no longer be a game pass. The people who did buy it, your support is greatly appreciated, and we'll be sure to refund you in in-game currency once we set up the new economy. Um, but yeah, like so that's the current situation. The Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, like we can have like heck like with this shirt situation with I can literally do a let's see. I can literally do a take the saturation down, increase the brightness, set a color, you know, like we can have some really cool designs for the most part. Let's set the helmet for gold. I feel like that's a cooler color for the helmet with this design we're making. You know, let's set the okay, yeah. So let's make this a little bit more orange. Yeah, the yeah, so that's all looking good. Let's go back to the shirts. Make a make we can, have all these different nice looking. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Hey there, Sean. Or I guess that you're Dex, right? Okay. Sorry, I'm so used to your normal username. Um, all of your characters have multi-hair. How will they look in the remake? They should look pretty similar. Like let's the I'm not I for now like it's really just you can just add hair onto things, Like you don't got to do anything fancy with it. Like you can have this is basically the Gambit haircut right now. Um, but yeah, like you can just add stuff if you want. And so that's pretty cool. Yeah, the I have, but yeah, no, there's still a lot of polish needed. Um, and yeah, like the skirts, that's something which I know people have been asking for a long time. So we'll be adding more of that stuff as it becomes available. But yeah, so if you want your character to have a skirt, you can. Yeah, so that's yeah, skirts, and then we can also have the boots. I actually really like the tall boots. Like check that out. Like, doesn't that just look right? The let's see, we can use the hue offset for stuff. We can have an entire thing, you know. Um, but yeah, the let's go back to shirts and see if there are any better ones because I feel like we're making a different character now. Um, let's see. This one says Coachella vintage top. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, we have welcome back, Kato. Did I miss him? I don't see it. Oh, Kato. You yeah. Oh yeah. No, you introduced yourself. Welcome back, Kato. Let's see. Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah. No, like that's kind of the goal here. Just to we want you to have complete complete control over the character design. Like this is not a character you could make in Superhero Life 2 or 3 or 1, obviously. Like this is a level of control which we had to work really hard for, and I'm really happy about it. Like just being able to create. uh, I actually had to think about whether I'd add socks. The eventual conclusion was no, because the layered clothing logic, as you can see whenever the character updates, it takes a super long time. And so I don't want to add, socks are being removed from the game, unfortunately. Now, shoes with socks built into the textures could definitely, that now that you mention it, I think I might have just subconsciously made Sailor Moon. That's funny. That's very funny. But yeah, so let's see, giant Sailor Moon. Oh, need to extend this a little bit more, I guess. But yeah. hmm Yeah, admittedly, I think I just realized we left the beard on. So Sailor Moon with a villain beard, you know. But yeah, the I appreciate y'all, being supportive along the way of this. I really think it's paying off, and I really want to make this the best game possible. And like this layered clothing stuff, like the layered textures, even. Like there's also like glove support, though we only have tactical gloves currently. Um, like these are things which are only possible thanks to editable images, and that's why the game can't just be released right now. Like under normal circumstances, around this time, I would maybe in like a few days from now, y'all would be able to play this. But because it's relying on technology which is still in beta, I can't release it. And so, I was thinking about this for a while. I thought, okay, maybe I'll do like maybe I'll disable these things and make like a custom solution, like just like work around it. But I realized that's just going to add another 2 weeks of development time. And I'd rather spend those 2 weeks just making things better. And so that when it does come out, when the editable images do come out and go live, that I can just, that like there will be more for y'all to do. And so that's my thinking. Um, I hope you like it because I'm probably not going to change my mind. Um, yeah. Oh, well, hey, I appreciate you making it at all, Zawa. Welcome back. Yeah. But yeah, like, so Sean asked, will there be custom body types for like weird monster-like characters? So that is on the table. The main thing I have to figure out is how I reconcile that with the different character styles. Like do I have like a blocky version of every monster? And for now, my main goal is just for humanoid body types, and then maybe going into like robot stuff, like if you could have like a robot arm or a demon arm, um, and then long term, non-humanoid body types maybe. Like, and when I say humanoid, I guess they are still humanoid. Sorry, non-human body types maybe. Like the idea that you could have, I don't know, like that's the thing because there's like if you everything that you could imagine non-human, I'd rather you just achieve with the current humanoid rig and like a custom body texture, like a body texture and maybe like some wings added or something as an accessory. So yeah, like the o- I'm more convinced by stuff like robotics because robots you can't just do necessarily that as a texture, but it's also something which is could still be human based. Like I feel like there's more of a balance there. Um, maybe like robots and maybe like a skeleton or something like, we'll see if there is, but that'll probably still be more on the limb level than full body replacement stuff. But yeah, yeah, Well, yeah, like there is always a risk in embracing beta technology. You know, like it, for example, I embraced video frames back in 2018, and then and like that didn't come out for like another 2 years. Um, but from what I can tell, editable images are coming out this year based on the roadmap. And so, I'm gonna guess they're gonna say something at RDC or something, like we'll see. And like, of course, worst case scenario, if 6 months from now everything else in the game is done and I'm just waiting on them to finish stuff, that's when I would like, okay, I'm gonna make a workaround solution, like, but why invest the time when I'm just gonna undo it all the second that it comes out? Because I really think that it allows for better designs, for the most part. But yeah. Oh, also forgot you can recolor the eyes now. That's always cool. But yeah, man, I need to do that optimization patch quickly. But yeah, so like for the most part, there are going to be a few more additions. For example, I still need to add cape technology, but I don't know if I'll do that right now. We'll see. Um, but yeah, capes still need to be added, and the material editor. I probably will add the material stuff just so I can finish off the editing, the rendering pipeline, and then go through and optimize that. And then once all that stuff's optimized, I'll probably add some new assets. I want to have at least one or two assets in every category, but like, the main system itself will be more or less done. Um, so yeah, like that's the current situation. I'm pretty excited for it. I think I've made something really cool. Because right now we have this, full character system. Um, and yeah, I I'm pretty happy with it. Like, yeah, like why does removing the beard need to re-render the arms? Like there's definitely optimization needed. But I am pretty happy with how all of that is going. Yeah. Yeah, this entire character right now, 311. So let's see what that looks like. So we could store this character over 3,215 times using just one-fourth of the data of the data store. If we wanted to use the full one, we could store it 12. We could store this character 12,000 times. I tell you, I went off when it came to making this character, um, making it so you could edit, like making it so you could save as many of these as possible. So yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, the let's remove the helmet. Um, okay, so now we can check the hair out. Now remember, we have 7 pages of hair. Yeah, no, I think that the editable image stuff is like it is the secret to unlocking so many things. Like, okay, right here, for instance, um, this is a cool haircut. If I didn't have editable images, I would be stuck to like just kind of this. Like if you want to make it blue, like this doesn't look good, like this doesn't look good. But because I embraced an editable image workflow, I can go and change the hue directly and get like these vibrant colors, like it's literally I can have multicolor things that just pop, like that's these are the kind of things that really unlock next level editing. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, the so yeah, let's I know this person's obviously presenting as a woman, but it's just too fun to the have more hair customizations than not use them. Yeah, the but yeah, like we're we are definitely going in a good direction. You know, definitely more. Um, oh, I still need to make the search bar work. That's true. Um, Yeah, no, that like the backwards compatibility was a big thing. Like y'all don't understand how important that is. Well, actually, you do understand. I'm just glad that I understand too, I guess. Um, because people put so much work into making stuff over the years. Um, and I definitely, and I want to make sure that that is always, always supported. Um, let's see, what's a good, what's a good color for this? We could have like, I want to do like a white color, like just like, I don't even know what this hairstyle would be, but I like it. Yeah, no idea what this hairstyle is, but you know, yeah, yeah, no, like like that's the thing. Like, not only are there a ton of hair already in the game? Like, you don't understand how easy it is for me to add new things. Like, it's literally just throwing it in, and just like adding this code essentially. Um, yeah, like adding new items, it really comes down to what do I want the items in the game to be, rather than can the game handle another item? It will. It'll be able to handle it. Like that's something which we are never going to be locked in before. If the item looks good and if I have the rights to use it, it can be added to the game. Um, so yeah, that's exciting. Let's see, what other accessories are there? This is kind of cool. Kind of adds like a cyborg vibe. But yeah, no, we still definitely have more edits that are needed and like some UX changes. And also like, to be honest, the optimization is a big thing because the all the like, as you can see, whenever I load in like this page, it takes a moment for all this stuff to show up. And yeah, so I might have to redo my entire UI framework to handle heavier loads like this, but we'll just have to see, what makes the best use of time. But no, I think that stuff is looking pretty good for the most part. Yeah, like, still have some other armor types we need to add, but you can see we're going in a good direction. Yeah. Like, y'all understand. Okay, let me show y'all the by Sailor Moon. Let me show y'all all the emblems in the game because this is actually something that's pretty cool. All right, so say hello to all of the emblems in the game. Um, all right, so we have everything that is number based, so you can have every like um, you know you could have every letter combo. Please don't spell anything inappropriate, otherwise it's a privilege, not a right. Um, the we have these different arrows. You wanted a bomb. Who here wants to be gunman? Shields, some more abstract stuff, trophies. All of these are retexturable, of course. Um, you know, Different card things. Really, like the rule of thumb was if it looks cool, it's staying as an emblem. Like you can be like Mr. DNA Man. Skull for all the police officers playing the game who think they're Punisher. The we have a home. Imagining right now someone making a character called Home Record. The Let's see. There's a lot of potential for fun joke characters. I feel with these new emblems. You know, like so yeah, we have a bunch of different stuff. Like really, we just tried to make it as useful to y'all as possible. Um, I don't know why you'd want to be Wheat Man. but you can be. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it should be pretty good. We have some quality emblems here. Let's see, how many emblems do we have currently? Let me check. We have 158 emblems. Yeah. So the Nightcycle logo. That's a good question. Um, because this is just an asset pack, I have not added it yet, but the emblem's going to be in the game. I don't know if it'll be the logo will be in the game. I don't know if it'll be an emblem. We'll see. Um, Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, like I think that like the heart of superhero life has always been, uh, you know, taking cool assets and then allowing you to combine them in cool ways. You know, it's so I'm really happy with how all that looks. Yeah, like that's pretty much it. The CPU, man. Yeah, finally. The what's it called? Yeah, I will say the emblems would definitely not be able to be sold because they did come from an asset pack. So like I have the rights to use them in the game, but I will not be able to sell those as like character assets. Um, yeah, the not without modification at least. But yeah, like we have this very beautiful city, a powerful character editor, powerful powers, and I think we have a good recipe for a good game. Yeah, like I think things are coming along. Things are going in the right direction. I'm hopeful for the future of it. Um, it was nice that I got about like a month to just work on Superhero Life 2. I've been working around the clock trying to get as much time in there as possible. Um, oh, well, no worries, Zero. It usually takes me 30 seconds to remember I should read the chat. Hmm. Yeah, Barley Boy and the Weeded Wonder Pals. See, that's the like. There's so many fun characters. Like I think there are two types of good characters you can make in superhero life: the ones that are authentically cool, and the ones that are so funny that they wrap around to cool. Like just embrace the absurdity of it. Because comic book characters, there's a lot of absurdness in it, and I think that you know the series is best when they kind of embrace that absurdity. Like there's a reason Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad by like James Gunn do like a good job elevating the source material. It's because he doesn't shy away from the weird stuff. He embraces it. Um, you know, did anyone here think they'd ever care about Polka Dot Man? I didn't think that, but I did. Um, but yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So I think for the most part, like we've come a long way from this initial set of items. Yeah, yeah. So I'll get to work on doing the character editing stuff. We'll see how we can best handle all that. Snowflame. I don't think I've heard of that character. How am I doing? I'm doing all right. You know, I I'm I'm trying to think if there's anything worth talking about before I end stream. This is a shorter stream. I feel like the streams are definitely turning into a I just talk about what I've done and get user feedback and less of a actually working while I do it. Because I just have so much. I just focus so much better when I'm not streaming while working. I think when I'm doing map stuff, it's a lot more reasonable. But when it's coding, especially like UI coding, where like stuff's already slowing down and I'm swearing all the time, it's not. It's a bit more of a headache. and so I have been, less available. But I want to check in. I want to keep streaming at least like three-ish, three-ish times a week, maybe five. I mean, the thing is, if there's enough stuff to talk about, I'll stream. But at the minimum, I want to do like two or three times. Just I want to make sure that I'm always available for people to have these kind of discussions. You know, huh? I agree that that does sound illegal, probably from the illegal powder stuff mentioned. But I do actually really like strong characters that have like an obvious weakness. Like I feel like that's why Mob Psycho 100 is so much better than One Punch Man. Because in One Punch Man, the guy's just kind of unmotivated and lazy and a bit depressed. Whereas in Mob Psycho 100, the guy's like a 10-year-old. And so like he has like emotional limitations. And like that sort of used as a foil from like his overwhelming power. And I feel like what was that other one where like the guy had a bunch of personalities in his head? It was a TV show. It was an X-Men character. Legion? Yeah, like Legion. Like it's like the strongest powers in the universe and a crazy person. And I think that leads to just that kind of offsetting leads to such a compelling character. Let's see. Am I going to RDC? Yes, I am. I officially registered last minute after I settled into my apartment. I was holding off on registering for a while because I was thinking like, I keep traveling. I don't want to travel anymore. But then I spent a month in Denver, and I was like, okay, I'm settled in. I can probably travel if I want. And so then I, scheduled that as a nice little weekend getaway. Yeah, no, I think that that's also compelling. I guess honestly, I feel like having both and juxtaposing them against each other is even better. Like that's why Batman and Superman are such a fun combo because you have like the person who's more or less a good person but super strong, and so sometimes they're a bit naive, and then you have like the hyper cynical person who's underpowered compared to everyone else, but like makes up for it with being overprepared. And so, yeah, no, I definitely think that both those character archetypes are very fun. Um, oh, awesome! Hey, I hope so too, bad dude. Be nice to. I don't think I've ever actually met a community member. But so if one of you all became a big enough developer to go to RDC, that'd be exciting. I've met people who played my game before, though that's always a tricky call to make because half of them think my game's a different game. They'll be like, "Oh, superhero life? I love the tycoon part of it." And I'm like, do I tell them that they have the wrong game or do I just roll with it? Is it? I just roll with it most of the time because it's like, nah, I don't want to. I don't want to embarrass them. It's the difference between like them being like, "Oh, that was cool," to like the most embarrassing thing that haunts them for years. Like yeah. So, oh well. Yeah, I'm glad Joe loves Superhero Tycoon. Yeah. It hurts when it's Superhero Tycoon, especially because like obviously the game's well designed in the sense that people played and it took minimal development effort. But it's not necessarily the most polished portfolio piece, you know? I'd much rather than think it's like Heroes of Robloxia or, something like that, where like you can see where all that they've put a lot of effort into that polish. Thank you, Brian. The secret is a nice skybox, and I think I just made it reflective, reflective in glass. So I don't. Did the glass material exist in 2017? I don't know if it did. I think they might have added that later. I don't remember. It's been so long. It's been 7 years since this game came out. So a lot of opportunities for improvements. Yeah, I have been to RDC before. I've met a few friends from online. I've had three internships at Roblox. So I've been to RDC about 4 or 5 times. First one was in 2015. But yeah, I've had three internships. I've met Ryan, my you know co-developer of Superhero Life for parts of it, and uh, you know very talented person. Very nice person. Friend of mine for what, 6 years now? Longest adult friendship I have for sure. Um, yeah, no, and I had an internship with him, so I met him there. But yeah, do I still work with Rife? Kind of. He's working on his own game right now, and I'll like pitch in on occasion with analytics stuff and just general feedback. But for the most part, it really is his game. Like I'll help him out when he asks, but he's got it handled for sure. Um, let's see. Yeah, no, I think the lighting looks a lot better. Um, yeah, the question is how, like, here's the thing that I've come to learn as a game developer. It's easy to make something look good. It is difficult. It's a pain to make something look good and run fast. And it's near impossible to make something look good, run fast, and be big. Like you can choose, like at best you could choose two. Like, do you want it to look good and be big? Well, won't run fast. Do you want it to run fast and be big? Well, it won't look good. It's just you gotta accept your limitations. And yeah, so with this game, it's very much on the run fast and um, be good side of things. We're not going for scale. We'll try that in Superhero Life 3's remake, but even then, that's more of a lower density thing. Like that's the funny thing about game development. Um, a space game, like a space game, is so much easier to optimize than a city game, even though a planet is in theory much bigger. But because it's so spread out, it's actually a much easier problem to solve. And so making a city that's big that runs fast, that's a headache. Yeah, so we'll see. Though, it's not impossible. You can have it just hitting all three is truly a feat of impressive engineering that I really don't see happen that often. Um, yeah, it's technical artistry, really. Let's see. Let's see. I need to stop talking about how old the game is making me feel. I'm sorry here. I was like, it's been almost a decade. That's you know, y'all have seen me age very quickly and rapidly. I feel like I got like maybe 2 or 3 years of my 20s, and then it's straight on to late 30s, early 40s. Yeah, yeah, no, I have so much back pain these days. My goodness, it's like I'm just becoming an old man. Yeah, y'all need to buy all the game passes so I can like go to like a doctor or something. I don't know. We'll see. And then it'll just be like, you need to do these stretches, and then I won't do them. And I'm like, why does my back still hurt? Okay, let's see. Yeah, no, I think that I've gotten a lot better at making good map stuff due to a mix of both the Chess Life game and the Wasteland Engineer, though, and Infrastruct and Superhero Life 4. I guess just because I've gotten better at the procedural decoration stuff. Let's boot that up because I really like looking at that. It makes me feel proud and happy, and those are good feelings to have. Okay, it's turning it on. Bam! Look at that. Beautiful. Artist, visionary, amazing, best game on Roblox. 200% like ratio. Yeah, so that's looking pretty good. Yeah, the my goal is that I want to get this to like a minimum viable product in terms of the systems, so I can just clean them up and refactor them. Like um, the I do technically have insurance. It's just not good insurance. Does anybody have good insurance? Does that exist? Because I feel like it's like either you're paying like 10,000 a year, or it's like we're covering nothing. I don't know. I don't get it. Like I want to see the graph in terms of like how much you have to pay into insurance before you actually start saving money. Because I swear it never happens. Um, yeah. Only the rich and the healthy can have health insurance. People who can afford emergency surgeries. Oh well. I'm so happy that I haven't had a surgery this year. For whatever reason, every like 2 years or so, I was having just a random organ fail or something. Most recently, my appendix in 2022. That was a pain. Got COVID while I was healing from that. Yeah, I tell you, coughing with COVID while recovering from a surgery on your stomach, those stitches never stood a chance. Yeah, I agree, Kato. I don't know exactly why, but but like I've thought a similar thing myself. Like there's something very Roblox about this tower, you know? And that's good. That's good. The but yeah, I think my favorite towers though are definitely these because it's a mix of two things. For one, I think they just look really cool. And secondly, they remind me of my home because they're based off these pyramid buildings in Indianapolis. So it's like a bit of nostalgia, a bit of, just coolness. And yeah, all goes together. Kind of like with the giant obelisk. That's something in the center of Indianapolis. So yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do something with this giant top thing. Like, it has to shoot out a beam at some point, Like we can't have this not shoot out a beam. That's got to shoot out a beam somehow. Um, yeah, I can see the Futurama vibes. But yeah, I think for the most part though, like also there's just something about this. You can tell that I've lived in a lot more cities since since when I made this, because you could just see it. Like if you were to like go into say one of these and like just just look outside like just look outside the window on one of these even like how about this? Like this is actually like a cityscape. Like this feels like a city, like on like the street level. Like you've walked down streets that look like this. Um, yeah, and I think that's just really cool to finally have that kind of thing. Like just this game looks so pretty. My goodness. All right, yeah, well, that's the thing. I feel like the thing we should do with the portal is like we should have some quests that be like you have to activate this in the highest point in the map, and then someone will like climb up here and then activate it, and then the beam will like strike down or something. Like there we'll just have to. It should become like a running joke that this always ends up being a sky beam. Like just embrace the absurdity of it. You know. Also, if we do, we will have weather, but if we have like thunderstorms, I want to make it so if you stand up here during a thunderstorm, lightning strikes you. That'd be so funny. Like, and bonus points, if you have like an electricity power and get struck by lightning, it should like give you a supercharged blast. Like that, like that's the cool thing about these kind of games. Like what if you keep the scope small, you can add a bunch of fun little details. And I just gotta resist the urge to make the scope larger. So, but yeah, like I think we're in a good place. Like for the most part, we have cleared every hurdle. Like you can see the game right now. It exists. You can have multiple powers. You can have a super advanced character editing, and you can have a nice looking map, and you can have it all at once. And we've proven that. Now I just need to go through, polish it up, add a bunch more content to it. But like the underlying systems themselves are pretty established, and I think that's great. Um, Yeah, but yeah, like I think this game, like I do want to remake Superhero Life 3. I'm in no rush. I'm fine just tinkering on this game for like another year after it releases. Also, you'll have to promise me, please don't send this to the front page. I can't deal with that stress. I'm used to a generation of like 6 to 10,000 concurrents. That's where my soul is happy. Like the idea of having one of my games all of a sudden have 500,000 concurrents would break me as a person. But yeah, also it immediately bankrupted me from like the analytics bill. Um, but yeah, the I think that stuff's looking pretty good. I like that I can just like have it sort of like this almost looks like a desktop background thing. Like these are like the loading screen should be like like just this kind of like moving slowly across the screen, like you mentioned like the credits or stuff rolling and then just like sort of panning to different areas of the city and then just being like you know I feel like I can imagine that. So I'm open to the idea of having like natural disasters kind of occur. Like, like you could have a giant wave hit the beach. You could have meteors hit. You could have buildings catch on fire. Like, I'm definitely in favor of having little events happening around the map. I think that'd be pretty cool. Um, the question is just how are we able to prioritize things and like what do we do first? Because ideally you add these things in a way which they build off each other. And so sort of figuring out what that looks like. No, I promise, hey, if I promised, I promise. In terms of graveyard locations, it'll definitely be somewhere along the edge. We have a lot of free real estate here and here. So one of these will probably become a little graveyard. Um, you know, so we'll do something there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the only condition is we're not having joke characters' names. Uh, we want it to look like people. Yeah, it's not going to be usernames either. It's going to be like role play names that are like actual names. Yeah, so yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, that's the statue of Ryan. I don't remember why I added it. I think no, it was 6 years ago, but I'm pretty sure I added that to annoy him, or he had me add it to annoy him or to annoy me. Someone there was pranks humor involved. I remember that much. And that was like the punchline, essentially, that like, oh, haha, your statue's in the game, but actually it rips a big one every 5 minutes. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Yeah. I used to be funny. What happened? Um, but yeah. I wonder how many times people noticed that over the years. Yeah. If I remember correctly, I also put like a reference to that lost webcomic somewhere in Superhero Life 3. Like it's just like an etching into one of the walls somewhere. Just like the lines, like the minimalist version. So yeah. Yeah, that was probably the edgiest bit of humor to make it into it. But you know, it was such a meme of a comic. It's hard to resist. Um I'm fine with procedural decoration in the sense that it saves me time. I don't know. I think that with procedurally generated graffiti, I'd rather just have like a stamp tool. Like it feels closer to like procedurally placed trees where you only place it once. Like if I had like a city that was like 4 or 5 times this, maybe I'd invest into that. But for the most part, I think I'd rather just manually place things. Just like place it in a few different things. Then maybe Maybe we could have it like hide some of them, like if we have like a city crime index or something, and if you've done a good job keeping the city safe, there'll be less graffiti or something. But yeah, like mm, I don't know how I feel about graffiti, honestly, because on the one hand, it's pretty obvious that not all graffiti should be considered art, you know? Sometimes it's just people putting curse words on things. Like sometimes it's just sort of a rebellion thing rather than an artistic outlet. But then sometimes it is like legitimately art. Like sometimes like there's actually a talented person made this. And so, it's a mixed feeling for sure. The yeah, yeah, it's looking good. Let's see. Wonder what the characters look like with the 2012 body. These would have all of them appearing as the masculine one because I haven't created the non-binary character models yet. Um, so still need to get a little bit better at Blender for that. Yeah, yeah. No, I guess it makes sense. You can't really have like a holistic single analysis on graffiti. It has to be per creation. I guess that's the same for art in general. Okay, like what? I like this version. I don't know what to tell y'all. I like it. Obviously, Snow Sister looks a little bit silly with the masculine frame, but maybe she just hit the gym a lot. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, no, I do need to like once I have all of these different once we have all these different systems running at a good speed and polished up, then we'll go through and replace and start doing asset work. That's going to be like a few months, honestly, of just asset work, just building out good assets, integrating things, adding interiors, expanding on the powers. Like it's going to become it's going to be a pretty big part of this. And then really after that, the only real final mechanic that needs to be added is the apartment base customization system, which that'll probably be another like two weeks of workish, but like like if I had nothing else to do in my life but work on this game, it would come out probably October, assuming editable images were done, like fully out. Though I'm not expecting that. I am expecting I have to pay my bills. So I will be taking on more work soon, most likely. This has been a nice month where I've just been able to focus on this, but it's not going to last forever. So realistically, we're probably looking at a winter release of the game where I just do like, work on the weekends and like 2 or 3 hours a night on it. Um, but this game's coming out. I think we can all agree this game is coming out, right? Like there's no scenario where it's not at this point. Like I've said that before, and I probably jinxed it. So sorry about that. But like I think that we've tackled all the hurdles, and it's no, I've made that mistake once. Never again. I want to enjoy my Christmas. Let's see how these ended up looking. You know, I am excited to do a from the ground up recreation of the Valor 6 and the starter characters. I think that I can do better now, and I want to go further with it. How much would y'all be upset if I like did how drastic of a remake can I do for a character design? I'm thinking I'll keep the color palette approximately the same, except for Captain Cool Guy. I think with Captain Cool Guy, we're gonna have to change either the hair color or the skin color, or like there 4 colors is too much. Like that, like we have to stick to three at max. I can make it look good with three. And still, I mean, obviously the guy's name will still be Captain Cool Guy. It's still going to be like a more of a corny character, but that's intentional. We can just make it look good too. The design doesn't have to be a joke. It can be like the polka dot man kind of situation where like, like so it's a character with a funny name, funny backstory, and uh, you know, and like did y'all hear about the goblin named Fartbuckle and his heroic sacrifice? That's what Captain Cool Guy needs to be. Just goofy name, everyone's tearing up. I think here's the thing. I think that Captain Cool Guy represents what was available to me at the time. Like when I created that character, I literally just looked through the assets I'd already imported and just, threw them all together. Took me 5 minutes. Like it was very much a minimum effort thing. And I think that now that I understand people actually care about the characters, because that's the thing I don't think y'all realize. Y'all weren't supposed to care about the characters. Y'all were supposed to use that to as a basic idea of how much flexibility the system had, and then just immediately tear them apart and make your own thing. You were not supposed to care about this. Nobody was supposed to care about Red Rage or Snow Sister. But y'all did, and that's great. I didn't think that would happen. I I was never that much of a writer. I never thought that my characters would matter to people. But they do. A lot of it. I'm not saying this is like the deep lore that like you're hyper invested necessarily, you know. But y'all have made it your own. You've added to it. Like people built on top of this foundation. And now that I understand people are going to be using these characters as a foundation, I want to put in the effort. I want to make it a good foundation. You know, it's kind of like how Star Wars is a great foundation for other people to make fun stuff. You know, like that's why the good Star Wars stuff is usually not the main series anymore. It's stuff like Rogue One or Andor. Like it's stuff where or the Mandalorian even like just this is a cool foundation that a lot of care was put into, and now you can use it to make something better. So yeah, yeah. Like, do you mean this body type or a different one, Kato? Because I will say I do like this body type more than the blocky one. Well, you said the blocky body would be perfect fit for the game. Um, Yeah, well, that's the thing. I like Legos. That's the problem, y'all. Y'all don't understand. I am Lego pilled. Um, yeah, thank you for stopping by, Brian. Good seeing you. All right, yeah, Legos are based. Not liking Legos is cringe. See? Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Glad we're all on the same page here. I want to know what kind of sick monster doesn't like Legos. Honestly, I don't want to add B tools. I don't. I don't. Y'all aren't gonna make. I'm not giving y'all that much control over the game. No, no. I'm gonna make something that fits it better. I'm gonna make it so that you can add specific items and move them in specific ways. Like here's the thing, y'all. You know that Roblox Studio is free, right? Like you guys can just go make a game. I don't need to provide that for you. Like I can't. I'm not adding B tools. B tools is just so much like, oh, you could just have Roblox Studio do this. Like, no, no, I'm not doing it. I I think that it's an inelegant solution. It's a quick one, and I'm not saying that any games that use it are bad, but I think that I can do better. I think for this specific game, I think that a custom solution for map customization in this game will lead to a much better average user experience and much better maps. Because here's the thing, y'all right now are thinking about this from the perspective of I want to be able to make anything I want, without thinking about it from the perspective of not everyone is as talented as you. And so if I make a tool which allows you to do whatever you want, but means everyone else can't make anything that looks good because it's too complicated, then that means that you will not get to play good maps made by other people. Like, the ideal world is one where the tool, it has depth in all the right places so that everyone can create something really cool, because then when everyone's making something really cool, we all get to benefit from that shared coolness. And yeah, that's the goal. Um, would I ever collab with them? I mean, like, I wouldn't not collab with them. I think it's like I just don't know them. Like, there are two types of people I collaborate with. The people who pay me a lot of money, and the people who I'm close friends with. And to my understanding, unless they're willing to give me a lot of money, um, I'm not either of those things to them. And yeah, but like, I think I'm friends with Rajiv was here on my Roblox account. I'm pretty sure I'm friends with him. Like we accepted friend requests. I think we have sort of like a mutual respect for each other, but I don't know Surfos to my memory. Or if I did, it was a long time ago. Um, yeah, no, yeah, no, I've been hearing it too here. I'm sorry if I kind of went off. It wasn't meant as like an attack on anyone. It's just I've been hearing it too, and it's just like it just seems like such a band-aid solution, I guess, to a very clear demand from the community, which is what I want to support. I want to have private service with customizable maps. I just don't want to make it so that like I don't want to make it so you can just like yank up like a flagpole and just leave it hovering there. Like that's not the kind of customization which I think is valuable, you know? Um, but yeah, the yeah, but no, like in terms of collaboration, I mean I can work well with others. I can also not work well with others. It depends on many factors. Um, you know, I am an I'm an okay programmer. Most people who program on Roblox aren't good at programming though, so I look good in comparison. But I promise you, anyone who's good at programming would know I am okay at best. Um, yeah, so I if I can handle the programming and do the technical stuff, and someone else handles the art assets, like that's usually the combo which works best for me. Somebody handles the assets, I handle the systems. That's the combo I prefer. Um, that's what me and Ryan had for the most part, though he is becoming a better programmer than me very quickly. But yeah, the oh really? Oh, okay. Yeah, the let's see. Will the cars be better and actually drivable? Yes, yes, yes. They won't be like, I'm not saying they'll be the best cars in the world. Cars are one of the few systems which I still feel like I'm not competent at. You know, like I literally cannot make something good enough as a car. But like I've gotten better at it. I've gotten a lot better at it. Um, yeah. So even if it's something as simple as just using an open source car system and then just building on top of it, like I have accepted that long ago. The vehicle system in Superhero Life 2 is embarrassing, and I'm sorry y'all had to endure that. Yeah, no, building a car is also tough, but I guess for me, like if I have a reference, I have a pretty good the part of the brain which can like comprehend 3D shapes. Mine is hyper developed. I've been making 3D models on a computer since I was like four. I'm not even exaggerating. Since I was like four. And so that part's just hyper developed. And so to me, actually visualizing the shape isn't too difficult. Um, the tough part is getting the physics of it. The amount of weird tricks that you have to put into making a car system feel good is silly. You can't just use the physics for the most part. Though I have seen a few successful things that are close, but you have to do some little like There's like all these little like offsetting physics. Ideally, one day you could just have it run a physics accurate car, but handling is such a reactive thing to changes in a car's system. Like tuning a car in real life can lead to massive changes um, in handling, and that's even more so in a video game. And so very quickly, you could have cars that barely turn at all, or cars that turn so much they explode. Like it's a tough thing to get a physics system working on a car. I know there are people out there who are good at it. I'm just not one of them. And so that's something I want to build up over time. I think in terms of skills I want to build up, it is car mechanics, UI, and like combat effects. I think if I can get those three things good, I will be the ultimate developer. I'm getting pretty close to being good at UI. I think I only have one more like major workflow refactor, and it's moving from Fusion to React Lua. And then once I do that, I think I'll be pretty much okay um, in terms of UI, like better than most people, and that'll be good enough. Car systems, I still have a long way to go. I barely even started that path. I'm like 2 weeks into that path. Combat systems, I think I have gotten better at them, but it's tough. I've explored it better. I have a better understanding, but I do think that some of my past work is arguably nicer than what I'm making right now because I just had a different vision. Um, we'll see. We'll see. Like, it's a process. I'm working hard to, try to make the most of it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Um, Actually, a second, Just a Fan asked a very interesting question. And the reason a car can turn so much that it explodes is because when you add forces into a game, like, okay, there is a code called apply impulse to a car where basically like energy is created out of nothing, like basically infinite energy glitch. And sometimes if you say, okay, right now, if I push my two hands together, this hand is pushing back against this hand with equal force. And now if you keep on adding pressure, it shakes a little bit. And then, one of them snaps and like, goes onward. The thing is, the calculations in a physics engine are sometimes imperfect to the point where energy is actually added. Like there's more energy in the system than is being added by any specific, impulse. And so that leads to situations where you could have an assembly kind of explode with energy because it wasn't tuned right. Uh, and it's interesting and it's something you can work around. But at the end of the day, this is always going to be a bit of a factor unless you do a lot of protections for it. Because in real life, physics doesn't happen 60 times a second. Physics happens continuously. And the best we can do is approximate it every second. And in that time, going from 1 second to the next, there are gaps. There are situations where, like, this is actually something I have to do. I have to deal with um, when it comes to bullets bouncing off of things. If you have a bullet starting 1 millisecond before right here, and then hitting this and bouncing off, and then ending up here a millisecond later, from the rendering perspective, it'll just go because it will have gone this entire path in the time between the frames. And that's the kind of thing which leads to interesting shortcuts in physics that lead to all these issues. Well, I'm glad to hear, Just a Fan. But yeah, thank you all so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed our discussions about this. I think this is the way I should do it because I'm looking at the stream analytics. We have a much higher concurrence than I usually do when I'm just talking about nothing. When I'm just working. Yeah, we got to 17 concurrence over here in the stream. That's crazy. Thank you all so much. And yeah, I'll get back to work and hopefully there's something cool to show you in a few days. All right. Peace.